In this video, we will try to understand the generator and the decorator. Basically, generator is one of the simple way of writing down the iterator. So, what is the use of iterator? Basically, iterator uses a method in which it actually iterates through one by one value like a for loop. So, in the iterator, you have two methods. The first method is called iter, and the second method is basically called as the next. So using this two method, we basically go from one value to other value in the iterator. But in a generator, we have a very great method called as a yield. So let's try to understand how the generator works. Okay, great. So the first part is, suppose I have written a very simple function, and there is a simple generator. And inside that, instead of return, you have to write yield. So yield, yield. That is, it is going to return one by one. This value will be returned. I'm calling the function. I'm calling the function, and then afterwards I'm going to run it one by one. So let's create a function and call the function. Now, whenever I apply a next to the function, it's going to return the first value. Again, if I apply the next to that, it is going to return the next value. And next, it is going to return the next value again. Great. Okay, so Python generator are a simple way of creating iterators. Let's try one more. But now I'm not going to use next, I'm going to use a for loop. So what we are going to do, we are going to take one by one value outside, okay, and using a for loop. So all values will come together outside, but one by one. You can see 1, 2, 3. So value will be taken from simple generator, and that value will be printed. Great. So now let's go to the next one, and a simple generator which I'm going to use, and I will return inside a lot of conditions. So the first condition is, suppose n equal to 1, print this line, okay, and return n equal to 1. Great. Next, n equal to return yield n equal to, so n value will be returned, and that will be is 1. In the second part, n will be added with 1. That means this n bar now become 2. And this second line will be printed. And now your n become 3 because n is already 2 over here. And the last line will be printed. So let's see how it actually look like a simple generator. So I have created a function, and now I'm calling that function. And when I press the next, the first will be returned. Okay, first will be returned. When I press the second one, the second will be returned. And the next one, the third will be returned. So this way you can basically iterate over this. Great. Very crystal clear concept. Okay. Now suppose I'm creating a generator function again, but I'm going to take this value at the same one stretch. And for that we are using for loop. Okay, let's run this. So the function is created, and you can see the using for loop, all value will be printed together but by one. So it is the best way to write a iterator, or a simple way to write a iterator. So iterator help us to go through one by one value, which is actually a replacement of a for loop. If you actually want to iterate through value with your control, then on that time the iterator works. And we have the best way to write the iterator, and that is a generator. Okay, great. Now we go to the decorators. So decorator basically adds some functionality to your function. Slightly heavy to understand, but with the example you can able to make it very clearly. So what is the meaning of that? So first I'm created two functions. You can see there's a function A which has a lot of things inside that, and we have function B, and which is basically a two print statement. So function A has function B inside, and function B has only two print statement. So this function is basically having one function inside plus some print statements. Okay, and this function is only having some print statements, nothing inside. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are just going to call first A. So A will be called. Inside that, the first B is there. It is already defined, so it is not been called. So nothing will be happened. So the first these two line will be printed. This function is calling F. Now I'm going to call B. So now I'm going to call B. So B will be added. B will be called, and this two line will be also printed. So what we have actually done, we have called one function, and inside that function, I have one more function which is adding some functionality to that function. Mark my words, I'm repeating one more time. See, we are calling one function, and inside that function, there is one more function which is adding some functionality to that. So suppose you have a function of calculator, and inside that you can write a lot of new function, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication. That means you have a calculator as a function, and inside that the functionality which are added is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and other parts. Great. So this is very much clear to us. One more example I can take that makes a very crystal clear concept of a generator. Suppose you have a division operation. Now there are three divisions operation which are possible in the Python. One is a floor division. The second one is a answer which come into the quotient, and the third one is basically the remainder. Suppose I take a simple example. So you get a three different answer in division. One 11, if I do divide by 2, so answer will come in to be different. 11 divided by 2 and 11 percentage 2. So one is going to give you the true division answer. The second one is going to give you the quotient as answer, and third one will going to give you the remainder as answer. So what we will do, we will just write it here as A is basically the division operation, and inside that we can add the functionality such as first division, second division, and third division. So basically this function is having a three different functionality. Okay, so it basically adds some of the functionality to the running code at the time of compilation itself. Okay, great. So now this is very clear. So let's run this. So first this will be printed. After that we will call the B, and the B part will be printed. So the function which has a function inside and adding some functionality to your program. Great. This is also one more way of writing it down in a generator format, a beautiful format, decorator format, sorry. First part is I'm creating a function. Inside that I have one more function. Sorry, I have created two functions. First function is this, second function is this. So what we are actually doing, first I'm calling a B function. Inside that I have passed A. So this is a function now will be the A. Okay, so first this will be printed. Okay, first this will be printed. Now after that we are calling the function, uh, and that function is A, which we have passed. This is a parameter pass technique. So now this line will be printed. A very great way of learning iterator, generator, and decorator. I hope this is very much clear to you.